This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Halloween.
Halloween. I don't think that's actually how the song goes. I never watched the movie. Is that like a criminal thing to admit online that I've never watched The Nightmare Before Christmas? Hot take. Is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? Who knows? Not me. I've never seen it. Comment down below. Anyway, welcome, as promised, to a Halloween themed video. Me, you might be wondering, are you even dressed up? I'm going for an abstract costume. I'm dressed in black, and my shirt, the Louvre. I cannot believe in the year of 2025, we had a real life heist. And that's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. 7 minutes, or to some, 4. I don't know. I keep reading different articles. 4 minutes, 7 minutes. Anyway, this is my costume. Come to your own conclusions about that. I'm dressed as Parisian tourist. Also, I don't know what is happening with my hair. I don't care about it, and neither should you. Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Happy Halloween. I'm planning on posting this on Halloween, so happy Halloween. Here's the thing. I have to say, Halloween, bottom tier holiday. And I know that's kind of like sacrilegious to some. Okay, let me actually preface. I don't like Halloween because I associate it with being jump scared. I hate being jump scared. I cannot do it. And I can't, that's the thing, is like I love Halloween for the candy, love candy, the costumes, love costumes. Look at me. But I am a scaredy cat. And I'm not afraid to admit it. I'll let everybody know. I am terrified of being scared. I don't like jump scares. If I'm in the room and I have my AirPods in and somebody comes in the room and I turn around and I see them, I'm screaming. I just don't like being startled. With Halloween, I deeply, deeply associate it with being startled. I struggle with watching horror movies. I struggle with going to haunted houses. I don't think I've ever been to like a haunted house, actually, now that I think about it. I've never been in one of those like I can't even, in a corn maze. Don't even get me started on a corn maze. Anyway, so all the things that are super fun with Halloween, like being scared, I'm not that kind of adrenaline junkie. However, there are things I do like. I love like documentaries that are kind of like scary. I really like YouTube channels that talk about horror movies because I really enjoy the writing aspect of writing horror. I think it's fascinating how horror is written. I enjoy YouTube channels that dissect horror movies so that I am able to watch the behind the scenes and still get that jarring feeling. What a great segue into our activity today. Welcome back also to another writing workshop video. I should have prefaced that way in the beginning, and I also didn't introduce myself. Hello, I'm Michaela, and I write, and this is my writing YouTube channel. And today, after my long spiel of nothing, we are going to be writing together. Welcome back to another writing workshop video. Thank you so much for watching and enjoying my other writing workshop video, which was the Summer I Turned Pretty video. A lot of fun with that, guys. I had a lot of fun with that. And thank you so much to everybody that shared their work with me privately, publicly, gave me thoughts about the video. To my friends who told me they liked the video, thank you very much. I am still workshopping it. That's funny. We're still like testing the waters to see just how interactive I can make this thing. I mean, obviously we're limited due to the fact that this is a YouTube video and class participation really is up to you. But welcome to the Halloween edition. I'm very excited to write today. As a girl who's afraid of all things horror, I love to like learn about writing horror. This is going to be a novel thing for me. I don't really write horror. I think I've maybe written one horror thing in my life. So today I have planned 2 different activities for us, and you're more than welcome to do both, or you can pick either or. The first writing activity that we're going to do is the 6-word story. And I'm sure maybe you've heard of this before, but it's basically a story told in 6 words. The most popular one being Ernest Hemingway's 6-word story, For Sale, Baby Shoes, Never Worn. Devastating. That's going to be our first activity. And so because it's for Halloween, obviously it's going to be very Halloween targeted. So that'll be our first activity. For our second writing activity, we are going to be writing a microfiction. And a microfiction, for those who don't know, is essentially a very short piece of fiction, usually under 300 words. They can be sometimes really easy to write, sometimes very, very challenging, especially if you want to pack in a lot in just shy of like 300 words. We are all going to start with the same sentence. and then we're going to go into, wherever this story takes you. And so those are the two activities that we're going to be doing today. Let's get to writing. Okay. 6-word horror story. You can write as many as you want, as little as you want. I feel like once you start writing, you would get just a bunch of ideas. You can just start writing them down. Here's the thing. Your 6-word story does not have to be horror. I know I've been saying it's a horror story, but it does not have to be horror. It can be Halloweeny. It could be fall-weeny. It can be fall related. It can be suspenseful. Like, it can be any thing. If you want to go that route of like Ernest Hemingway's really depressing For Sale Baby Shoes Never Worn, please feel free. I also think it would be really fun too in these 6 words is if you can take your favorite horror movie and summarize the plot in 6 words. That could also be very cool. I think I'm going to try doing that too. This first activity naturally should go by very quickly, so I'm not going to really set a time. Feel free to pause the video, but I'm going to write and just see what I come up with, and then we'll do some sharing. Maybe we'll check back in like 2 to 3 minutes and see how we're doing. Enjoy. I will check back in with you very soon. Okay, welcome back. I don't know how long it's been for you, but it's been approximately 2 minutes for me. I have 10 little. What are these? What are they called again? 6 stories. 6-word stories. The first 2 that I wrote, random spooky things. The next 8 are summaries of horror movies. So I'll share with you now, and then we'll move on to our microfiction. Again, please feel free to comment down below and share your ideas and share your writing pieces. I'm not even kidding you, so honored to read anything that you guys write. If you feel so inclined to share what you wrote today, please feel free to do that. These are my 6-word horror stories. Anyway, they're kind of kooky. The first one, broken dishes, empty house, demon inside. The next one, 1800s antique mirror, not my reflection. Ooh. And the next 8, like I said, are 6-word summaries of classic horror movies. The first one, clown in the sewer, it stinks. So obviously it, which I've never read, I have tried to read so many times in my life, and I have never been able to finish it. Not because I get scared, but because I stop reading it. And I'm also never going to watch the movie because I'm so scared of clowns. I'm terrified of clowns. The next one is, they connected his what to where? That's the Human Centipede, which I've also never seen and never will watch that. The next one, oh, that clown kills just for fun, which also would work for it, but this one's actually about the Terrifier, which I also have never watched and will never watch. The next one, VHS tapes Family Fun, 20 Dead. That one's sinister, which I actually have seen. I've watched Sinister in broad daylight. Broad daylight. The next one is Static Screen. Out comes the girl. That's Ring. Again, never have watched it. Okay, here's the next one. Roller coaster ride, loose screw, girl beheaded. That's Final Destination. I've also never watched this, and I don't actually know who gets beheaded. And is there a beheading? I just feel as though it would be silly of them to not put a beheading in those crazy ass movies. I'm sure someone is beheaded. Might have been a girl, could have been a boy. The next one, loud noise, monster comes, you're dead. That is The Quiet Place, which I have seen. And the last one I have is Ant in Town, children go missing. That's Weapons, which I have not seen, but I've heard really good things about it. My friend told me it's really good, and maybe I should give it a chance. I watched the Aunt Gladys scene when she was in the principal's office with Benedict Wong. I watched that, and she scares me. That's the thing, is she scares me. There's something very uncanny about her, something not right about her. Those are my 6-sentence horror stories. Six sentence, I keep calling them the wrong thing. What is this? 6 words. These are 6 words, and these are 6-word horror stories. Okay. So fun and so easy, hey? The next activity that we're going to do again is our microfiction. However, this, if you have a laptop available or anything with access to the internet, I would love for you to log into you don't have to log in, it's free. I would love for you to pull up this website. This is something that I use sometimes when I am in a funk and I just want to start writing. You set a timer of how long you want to write for, and you just start writing. However, once you start writing and once you start typing, the timer has started and you are not allowed to stop. If you stop for over 5 seconds, everything that you have written gets deleted. You don't get to keep it. You don't get to savor it. It's gone. A little bit scary. But what would a Halloween video be without a little bit of horror? This is the program that we're going to be using for our microfiction. And I'm doing this on purpose because as a writer, sometimes I love to sit and stew and make sure every line is perfect before I move on, which is not productive in my opinion. As my own solitary writer, it makes me feel stuck, and it makes me feel like, the rest of the piece won't be as good if I can't get this one line, which is never the case. And so I pull up this writing prompt sometimes when I just need to write. It's kind of like, is paradoxical the right word to use here? I'm going to use it anyway, and I'm going to check later. You'd imagine if there is that pressure on you, you start to panic. But because you know that you're not allowed to stop writing, it makes it so much easier to just write. And so this is the program that we're going to be using for our flash fiction today. Microfiction. Also, you don't have to stop right when the timer stops. Like, you can copy and paste this once you have your work saved and keep writing. Chances are I'm probably going to do that too. But we're going to just use this to get started. If you don't have access to this, you can totally do this activity by just setting a timer and writing on a Word doc and being really super mindful of continuing to write. If you're doing this with pen and paper, which is also very, very sick, you can set up a timer and just making sure that you're writing continuously. And if you want to set a timer that's longer just because you're writing by hand, that's also an option too. Lots of options. We are never without options. As mentioned before, we are all going to start with the same line, and then wherever this story takes us, I'm so excited. This one, if you're interested in sharing, please share. I would love to read. I would love to see where everyone takes this. I think it's so fascinating to see where our minds can go. So please, if you feel so inclined to share, I would love to see what you write. Our opening line, folks, is going to be, there was a smell coming from the house at the top of the hill. I'm going to set a 5-minute timer because I feel like that's always been the best for me to write without stopping. Set as long or as little as you want. I think you can really change. I think there's an option to change. I think the default is 5 on the website. I think the minimum is 3. Everybody, we'll check back in 5 minutes. Okay, I just finished writing. Mine is 179 words. So I wrote about maybe 120 words on the website, and then I copied and pasted what I had, and then I kept writing in a Word document. I hope that was fun and equal parts stressful, but more so on the fun side. and I am so excited to share with you what I wrote. I think what I wrote is pretty scary, but you can be the deciding person on that. Maybe I'll hold the mic for this. There was a smell coming from the house at the top of the hill. At first, it was faint, like catching a whiff of something through the breeze of the wind, and then it got stronger, to the point where the townspeople had to shut their windows and cover their noses indoors. But the problem was, the house at the top of the hill was supposed to be empty. Nobody had lived in it since the widowed man died of grief. But the smell was of rotten death, and it permeated through the cracks of floorboards and walls of insulation. And in the twilight hour, when the brave boy left home to explore, he never returned home. In the hours of the early morning, the police would find the skin of the boy lazy stitched to a dummy of straw the shape of a woman. It was misshapen, layers of skin upon layers of skin, rotting, decaying, stitched together in an old wedding dress. And the widowed man in his suit, still holding the needle. Ah, spooky! That is my microfiction short story. I misspoke. It's 174 words. It's not 179. Apologies for that. And that is the conclusion of our writing workshop today. Please let me know what you thought of these activities and if you tried them. Writing is amazing. Writing is so fun to me. I love it so much. And I, again, am really, really such a firm believer that every single person on this planet is an artist. If you find inspiration from these videos, that's fantastic. I'm very honored. And if this makes you want to start writing, please. Thank you for coming to the workshop. I will see you again soon for another video. Happy Halloween. Have an amazing Halloween. Be safe, be fun, eat a lot of candy, and go write something. Big three, everybody's favorite big three. Like, comment, subscribe if you want. See you later. Have fun. Have a great life. Bye.